What's up, residents? This is Jacob, and today we're gonna have a little bit of a different sort of video. I figured it'd be a good time to finally really talk to you guys in a personal, kind of, friendly way. What we are going to be talking about today is something I've seen pop up multiple times within the comments of our own videos and pretty much all over the internet and especially YouTube and all that stuff. As many of you may know, Godzilla Planet of the Monsters is releasing on Netflix this upcoming Wednesday. That's January 17th for all of you that don't know. There seems to be a controversy of sorts of the fact that this version of Godzilla is more or less a plant, or as I like to say, he's more of just Earth. He isn't necessarily just a plant. He's got rock in him. He looks like a giant boulder, but pretty much everybody's really just kind of comparing him to a plant at this point, and I guess there's obvious reasons for that. But before we go into that, let's kind of recap the story of Planet of the Monsters first. The story for Planet of the Monsters takes place 20,000 years into the future, with humanity not on Earth anymore. They pretty much got booted by Godzilla and the rest of the monsters that evolved to kill out humanity. But this new batch of humans have decided to come back to Earth and fight for what they think is theirs. Being humans and all, Earth is ours, I guess. Little do they know that Godzilla is even more badass and deadly than he was when they last saw him 20,000 years ago. So everything for this film really seems to be going quite good, especially for an anime on Godzilla. Just this plant controversy is truly the only thing that I see that's holding it back at this point. Some fans just really, and I mean really, hate the concept of the Gman being a plant. But why does this matter to these people? Why do they really care that Godzilla is, in his origins, a plant? Why does this matter? Why does it affect them? Now, to really kind of figure this out, we have to look back at Godzilla's past. He's always been an animal of sort, or at least a creature that certainly isn't a plant or a gigantic frickin' boulder. In some of the stories, he was a dinosaur that was transformed by atomic activity created by humans. In others, he was an ancient beast from a time where the Earth was more powerful and it allowed these creatures to grow to enormous heights and all that awesome shit. And then there's others to where he's just a flat out god and he's just there to mess up stuff or save the day. That's always been how Godzilla has been portrayed. He's never been a plant that's come out of nowhere just to wreak havoc on humanity. So this next part's going to have some spoilers in it, so if you don't want to hear anything about Planet of the Monsters, skip ahead about 30 seconds to a minute and we'll be good to go. But if you didn't know, this movie is going to feature two Godzillas. The first of which is called Phileas, and he's pretty much a spawn of Godzilla Earth, the other Godzilla in the film. Now he pretty much looks just like Godzilla Earth, and he has that classic Godzilla look and appeal that's been around for decades now. The only difference is that his skin resembles that of tree bark, which is kinda weird. But you can't really even tell in the footage and clips that we've seen. Moving on to the biggest mofo around Godzilla Earth. He looks a little bit different than Phileas. Now, he pretty much has the same basic design, his appearance is pretty much the same. Although he has a few differences, just pretty much the fact that he's been around for so much longer, his body's been allowed to grow and mutate even more than Phileas. And he doesn't look so much like tree bark as Phileas either. He looks more like a giant freaking mountain. He just looks like a rock, like boulders and stones. It's pretty damn cool if you can allow yourself to get into the idea. Now, Godzilla Earth has evolved as a result of plant life around Earth incorporating the characteristics of other various organisms that were around Earth at that time through something called horizontal gene transfer. Now this granted him extreme amounts of durability. He can handle all sorts of just damage coming at him. He can even be stealthy somehow, being almost 1,000 feet tall. And he has the ability to regenerate really, really damn well. But what is horizontal gene transfer? From what I can believe, it's when organisms don't evolve necessarily through just reproduction, but from outside sources influencing a pre-existing cell or being. But don't quote me on that, I'm not exactly sure, but that's just how I see it. So all this other animal, just juice and DNA came into a plant or whatever that was Godzilla at that time, and it pretty much turned him into the gigantic beast that he is now. But this weird plant sort of Godzilla pretty much moves and acts just like how the G-Man always has. He's slow, he's not running around all that much, and he still even has pretty much all the classic Godzilla powers like atomic breath. So, why do fans really just not like this form of Godzilla being based on Earth? The only thing that I can really think of is that it's just because how he looks on his skin sort of level. Because if you look at how his body's shaped, it's pretty much classic Godzilla. I personally think the Godzilla Earth has a really cool design. His legs don't look all tree trunky and goofy as hell. He has muscles. He just looks ripped. He looks like a giant freaking bodybuilder. And I think that's badass, being a meathead and all. But if you look more detailed and you look real up close on him, you can tell how his, I guess you can call it skin, definitely has a weird sort of tree bark or rock sort of look, and I guess people just really don't like that idea. Other than visually, I don't get how people could say that they have a problem with this type of Godzilla. From what we see of how he acts, it's pretty much classic Godzilla. He's huge, he's monstrous, he takes a lot of fucking damage, but yet he keeps on kicking, and in the end he comes across like, oh, he's supposed to be this big bad guy, but he's just a giant animal organism that's just trying to survive and live and make sure Earth is healthy. And this is why fans shouldn't worry at all. This Godzilla is Godzilla. Whether he's a plant, a rock, or a damn frickin' dinosaur all juiced up, it doesn't matter. He's still going to be Godzilla. A force of nature that will protect Earth from any harm. And in this story, the harm are humans, and it makes a lot of sense. So to all of you that think that this movie's going to suck just for the fact that Godzilla is a plant, I think you need to just calm down a little bit and watch the movie at first. Then you can make all these claims. What I think you really need to worry about is how annoying the human characters are going to be. From what I've seen in the trailers already, I'm already kind of like, just show the action and show the beasts and show the monsters and show the G-Man, what this is all really about. Give this version of Godzilla a chance. And hell, if it comes back and it's goofy and completely ridiculous after we watch it, I'll be the first one to tell you, maybe I was wrong. Maybe. So after seeing this and hearing me talk about Godzilla Earth and Phyllis and how they're plants and all that, how do you feel about Planet of the Monsters now that it's pretty much releasing here in less than a week? Are you still just not going to accept it because he's a plant? Or have you finally started to come around to the idea? I'd really want to hear what you guys have to say. So with this release coming, myself and Alistair are going to make a lot of content on Godzilla Planet of the Monsters. So if you like that sort of shit, make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see much more content on this movie. And Godzilla in general. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this content today, as I surely like talking about it, and I really think it was something that needed to be kind of talked about within the Godzilla community. So, this has been Jacob. Peace out, everyone. Go Eagles! Woo!